Alrighty, good morning, everyone. So our first,
No. Anyway, I'm reporting on the financials I approved on August 30th, resolution 18-105. And it was simply appropriation transfers from the sheriff's office material and supplies account to a new post-2 materials and supplies account in order to meet the state auditor's one blanket encumbrance per line item requirement. And there was an appropriation transfer from the county home to a different account to increase their OPERS payroll accounts as needed. That was it.
okay. And then we need to approve minutes for August 30th.
Yeah, it was at the fair, so.
Okay.
So moved. Second.
Commissioner Claypool?
Yeah.
Commissioner Lee?
Yes.
Commissioner Blair?
Christine. And that one's done. There you go, Tim.
Okay, today's financials include cash transfers from the general fund to the sheriff's office law enforcement block grant for the county match for the OCJS grant number 2017-JG-A02-6468. That's the video camera replacement project. And grant number 2017-JG-LLE-5108, which is the Hearing Safe Helmets project. Encumbrances include an encumbrance increase from maintenance to increase the phone contract with AT&T, an encumbrance for the Board of DD to Cunningham Paving Company for asphalt repairs at various locations at the Metzenbaum Center, travel requests from the Department of Development, Community Development to attend the Ohio Economic Development Association's Training Summit in Columbus, travel requests from JFS to attend the Ohio Supreme Court's annual specialized docket conference in Columbus, and finally a travel request from the juvenile court to attend a training on the fundamentals of mediation training in Columbus. Among the vouchers are $94,087.22 from the engineer's office to Woodford Excavating LLC for culvert replacement services at Fairmount Road, and $94,622.03 from JFS to Ohio Guidestone to pass through the funds to pay for payroll in the summertime youth employment program, and revenue certification from the sheriff's office to recognize the additional funds required for the 911 fund to upgrade the county's 911 system as mandated by the state.
Real quick, I just had a couple of questions.
Sure.
The encumbrance to increase for maintenance to increase the phone contract with AT&T. I thought the idea was we were trying to decrease that contract.
Well, they're saying they need to buy a little time before they can get something in place to replace those FX lines.
Okay. So maintenance is still
Paying
Paying
the
for it.
still paying the bill.
Yeah.
That'll probably be a topic of conversation, I would imagine, with the auditors at their budget hearing.
Okay. So I guess my next question would be, what is the increase then? Do we know?
It's 25,000.
Yeah, because AT&T jacked up the prices on those FX lines we've had all these years.
But
I mean, are we using these things
Well,
right
they're
currently?
used, but it's just if we didn't have them, people would call that main 285 number instead.
I mean, do we know that specifically that these dollars are going to that?
I have not, yeah, it's going to
Oh, yeah,
that.
for
It
sure.
is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going on that specific encumbrance for AT&T.
I have a hard time spending $25,000 on a 1-800 number. I mean, am I simplifying this thing or oversimplifying it, Glenn? Is that all it is so people from the other side of the county can call in here?
Yeah, this is one of those things that way back in the old days, this was the best way to go.
Right.
And nowadays of numerous departments involved, we're on the right track, and all three departments are working together and trying to come up with a solution and trying to get rid of this.
I understand.
And matter of fact, I just talked to Al about it the other day, and they're really trying to push it and everything.
I mean,
to get rid of it.
so this is an increase, but what's the What's the final price?
Was it 6,000 a month, or 6,600 a month?
Yeah,
something like that?
That's crazy.
huge. I mean,
Yeah.
the comment was made that they're being used. Do we know that they're being used?
Oh, yeah.
Are we
Yes.
assuming, do we have traffic on them? Do we have data to support the fact that they're being used?
From what I'm being told, yes, there
Because
is
there's a
traffic
huge
on it.
number of people that are just going completely to cell phones today, and we don't need to have lines if you got cell
Totally
phone.
agree with you, we're going to cell phones, but we're also looking at how do I put this diplomatically, the seniors of the county,
Hey.
right, that don't have the cell phones, all right?
I'm a senior, I got a cell phone. What are you saying?
Or everybody has the number that
Don't be
they-
belittling us seniors.
Yeah.
So we are in the works, what we're even looking at is just putting something out there right now, is, hey, you need to start calling the 1-800 number.
Exactly.
Right.
And getting that education out so that we don't have a lot of abuse, I don't wanna say abuse, but
I
people
mean-
trying to use a line.
I've been talking
Okay,
about this
so,
for years.
so I guess the alternative would be if this line was not in place, the taxpayer from, say, Chesterland or
Parkman.
Parkman.
Parkman's gonna call the 834 number, because Burton is a local call from Parkman.
And,
That's
and,
why
and they
it's
would
in
be,
place.
they would have to incur the long distance charge.
And we have been looking at an alternative, but what ADP was running into was that if we cancel this contract,
Yeah.
we're going to be on the hook for a majority of the value of that contract until its end.
Right, there is a
So-
cancellation fee, that's right.
Yes.
There is a cancellation fee.
So that's why we had to do this, because what we really have to do is just get to the end of the contract, and then we can really make big changes.
And how long do we have to go on that?
It's another year and a half.
Yeah.
Hmm.
yeah.
So through the end of next year.
I mean,
think.
this is like
Who
literally
negotiated
throwing
that
money.
contract?
Your guess would probably be correct. So he's not here anymore.
Yeah.
So
Well, he may, I mean, it was at his direction, but this is something you've been saying,
Yeah.
most people have a landline with free long distance, so they can call the 285 number. People have cell phones, free long distance. they
Or
can
I
call.
just paid my long distance bill.
Or-
you know?
or-
I mean, I don't
but-
expect
We
anyone else to
also-
pay it for me.
We also have a toll-free number that we
Yeah.
got years ago that nobody really uses or knows about. That, they could call if they don't have anything else, if they still have a landline and they don't have any free long distance, they can call toll-free number. There's all these things in place, but nobody ever wanted to make the change.
And the termination fee is how much?
It's pretty close to the actual cost of the contract, as I understand it.
yeah, based on the email that we got from.
I mean, this is a horrible business decision, whoever came up with this and got us into this. I'll
Well-
just say it flat out. I mean, I would never put myself in a position like this.
And I guess if we're
Yeah.
on contract, why are we putting more money into it?
Because I think that the original appropriations were limited with the understanding that if need be, we could increase it. But there were increases that happened from AT&T where our rates went up. And most of these contracts allow for like regular increases of certain percentages and stuff. Like this probably wasn't $6,000, back when we first started it, but over the years as it's gotten more and more.
What's the outcome if we don't pay the increase? What does the contract say in terms of maintenance of that contract?
Well, I mean, if you're not paying the full amount of the bill, you're
You're in
going to be
default.
in default of the contract.
Mm.
Yeah, but they can't just unilaterally, we gotta approve the increase. And so we can go back and renegotiate possibly, or, find another way, because they can't just unilaterally, the contract just gives them, shoot, what's stopping them? They got a blank check, they can just keep increasing the rate through the ceiling.
Till the end of the contract, yes, and then you can renegotiate or go with somebody else.
But we don't know that, because you haven't read the contract.
I have not read the contract, I'm just going off of.
But somebody
what
read the
Al told us.
contract is my point,
Yeah.
at some point, and this is whoever
Okay,
okayed
read the
this.
contract,
Yeah.
and if you're not thinking outside the box, say, well, we need an FX line, so it is what it is. AT&T provides the 834 exchange, so it is what it is. If you want an FX line, they're the only game in town for that.
If we set this aside today and got a copy of the contract and kind of found out where we were, what's the implication of that?
Well, we will not be able to pay this month's bill. So we would not Am I understanding that,
I
Glenn,
would
correctly,
say it's
that you
next
guys
month.
need the,
I mean, I don't see this on a monthly basis rolling through here. I mean, this is the first time I've seen this. I mean,
well, as far as an increase, but the AT&T bill does
Yeah, it's
happen every month.
Yeah.
That's that one that gets split up and there's a cash transfer that comes
Okay.
from all the different departments.
Yes, yep, I'm
Yeah.
familiar with that.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Okay,
So,
So we're at 6,600 right now a month, and it's gonna go up another basically $2,000 more a month.
No, that is the new rate. It's
Yeah.
just, when the appropriation was made, it was based on the old rate. And they've increased rate during the year.
And even then, it would probably, maybe wasn't set to, go through the whole year with the understanding that that might be getting transferred to ADP and different stuff like that, so. They probably didn't want to tie up their entire appropriations with that AT&T encumbrance.
yeah.
So,
I'd
I
be-
did that over at Water Resources.
I'd really
too.
be interested to see how much usage is on these lines, these FX lines. I would, my gut is telling me it would be very little traffic coming in on those things,
You could be right.
you know,
Yeah,
but,
you could be
It's
right.
probably not.
you know, for the amount we're spending here, we could certainly do other things in this county, sorely priorities,
Absolutely.
pressing things we could use that money for.
Especially since there's another avenue for
Yeah,
people to use.
I mean, I'm hesitant to move forward with this, but I understand the legal implications of not paying our bills and such, which I don't wanna do, but,
And has anybody tried to reach out, has anybody tried to negotiate with AT&T on this?
Al and Al are both working with them, and there's another company that they're working with right now also. And they are in contact with them, and they've been working. It's one of those big companies, it doesn't happen overnight.
right.
It takes a little bit of time. And
I'm
I
not sure
will
that
say,
I,
For Al, for them guys, they have stepped up to the plate tremendously in the last couple of months and really doing this and checking it out and everything.
Okay.
I give them a lot of kudos.
I mean, if that's the end game, is to get out of this, I'm all for it.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
there
yeah,
definitely.
absolutely.
Yeah.
There's enough focus on this right now that I don't think it's gonna get swept back under the rug. so.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And then just one other small question, Metzenbaum, the asphalt repairs?
Yes.
Was this something not budgeted then, so this was something new? that
No,
came
this is
up?
an encumbrance.
Yeah, this
So
is
they-
just the encumbrance.
And it comes before you guys because that property is in the name of the
Right.
county commissioners.
Right, okay.
So that, yeah. It probably was in their budget, they're just encumbering the money now. but
Okay.
moving forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a budget adjustment that you're voting on, it's just the actual encumbrance.
Okay. Okay. That's all I got.
Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve and execute resolution number 18-106, itemizing the financials for the meeting of September 6, 2018.
Second.
Commissioner Claypool?
Yep.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Thank you.
Thanks,
Those are right there for you this night.
Oh, yeah.
Morning. Huh? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm ready for that.
We're just warming up.
We saved a couple, we saved a couple for you guys.
Okay. Our first item we have is a resolution authorizing the adoption of the Geauga County Community Participation Plan, which is something we've always had. It just needs to go and be resolution again every 5 years. So we had an audit a couple weeks ago on our one grant, and it was something that they looked at, and I looked a little bit into it, and I updated a few things, because there's programs we no longer do that were in it, and so we changed it a little bit, and we're doing a new resolution for the next 5 years.
Do we, with some of the programs that we don't do anymore, do we stand to lose, or some of that money we get clawed back that we're hanging on to?
They're always, kind of, yes.
Yeah.
We can always reapply for the grants, like the CHIP program, the
Mhm.
home program, we haven't done that since, I believe, '05, and maybe '07. And we can always reapply for it, it's there. And there's other programs that are there in case we want to utilize them, we can. That's what we do the public notice hearings for at the beginning of the year,
Mm.
just to say these are the programs we can apply for, not necessarily going to, but we can always apply for those still.
Okay.
Kelly mentioned the audit, there were no findings in the audit.
Good.
Good job.
Excellent. Okay.
Department of Development is requesting the board approve and execute the resolution number 18-107, authorizing the adoption of the Geauga County Community Development 5-year Citizen Participation Plan as required element for continued participation in Ohio's Community Development Block Grant Community Development Program.
Second?
Commissioner Clickwell?
Yes.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner
Aye.
Spillier?
The next item we have is a notice of award to bid for Lakeland Management Construction Company to do the 88 entryway and ramp to the Berkshire Local School District Board Office.
5, 6, and 7, all going together.
Yeah. Should I do them all together?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. And then the second item would be awarding the contract of $49,000, which they were the lowest and best bid on there. And the last item would be notice to proceed for that project.
Okay, and so this was, we approved these back like a year or so ago, or, yeah?
Like last June.
Okay. Yep. So when will you have new project, or you submit for new projects?
Next year.
Next year.
Now we're on a 2-year
So it's
cycle.
2 years, yeah,
Mhm.
okay, okay.
Yep.
The Department of Development is requesting the board award the bid to Lakeland Management Systems Incorporated for the Berkshire Local Schools Board Office Accessibility Upgrades Project under Grant BF 17181 in the amount of $49,000 as they represented the lowest and best bid, and further authorize the President of the Board to execute the notice of award. The Department of Development is requesting the board approve and execute the 3-party contract between the Board of Commissioners, Berkshire Local Schools, and Lakeland Management Systems Incorporated for the Berkshire Local Schools Board Office Accessibility Upgrades Project under Grant BF 17181 in the amount of $49,000. The bid bond submitted shall be held to serve as the performance bond for this project. The Department of Development is requesting the board approve and authorize the President of the Board to execute the notice to proceed for Lakeland Management Systems Incorporated for the Berkshire Local Schools Board Office Accessibility Upgrades Project.
So,
Second?
Commissioner Clickwell? Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner
Aye.
Spillier?
Thank you.
Okay, have a great day.
You too.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
You no longer have to initial all of those assurances.
So nice.
According to Rex, I talked to him yesterday, they are no longer required
Yeah,
under the
they're no
grant.
longer doing assurances.
So you no longer have to initial 9,000 lines.
Hey,
What else is-
it's one less thing you have to do. Usually the federal government has you do more things.
Yes.
Now I think you have to do less.
Mhm.
So we're just here and now to ask for approval for you guys to essentially authorize us to operate HEAP for the county, which is the Home Energy Assistance Program. We have to do this every year. We have the new federal fiscal year coming up, and so the administrative grant comes to us, which essentially pays for staffing in order to able to run the Home Energy Assistance Program, which helps low-income individuals with utilities and things of that nature that are usually within 175% of the federal poverty level or below.
And this would be the situation like what we were listening to
Bob Voss.
Bob Voss about.
was making his proposal that he operate this grant.
Okay.
Yeah, which obviously we ourselves and the Development Services Agency of the state of Ohio are not in support of. There's a significant number of reasons as to why it should remain with us. At least we feel, first of all, we've been doing it. People know us. We've been advertising. People know where to come as one location to receive assistance. When people come into our building, oftentimes they're paying their child support. Then they may be going to go get help with their heat. They may then go get food stamps. Then they may go cash assistance. Then you would essentially be siloing one program away from JFS, which is sort of the central location for a place to receive benefits of a similar nature.
But in a lot of other counties, it is done by an outside agency, so everybody does it differently.
I would say, everyone does it differently. But I think it would be a disservice to the clients to then come to a central location. JFS is more centrally located in the county, and then have to come up to Chardon for this one program which, you know,
Agreed.
it doesn't really make sense, because it's the same client.
Well, let me play devil's advocate on that for just a second. First of all, the Department of Development in the state of Ohio is not in favor of JFS doing this.
Oh, they are?
They-
I just spoke with them.
And we've just spoke to them too, and they would actually prefer, because the majority of the state organizations are handled outside of JFS. And so they told us that, and I sit on the board for Community Services Action, and so they've told us they prefer for it to be in that. And it's not necessarily accurate that we're siloing, because the organizations work together. And so people still come to your organization. We can still have people housed in JFS, and/or JFS can be contracted to do some of the activity and so forth. So there's ways to work through this. I don't know what's better in this scenario, but we want to be accurate in terms of how it's portrayed. And it is true that it's been with JFS for a long time. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's the best place for it, because JFS has got, it's a distraction from all the other core activities that JFS does. It's not a core activity for JFS. It's
I mean, we would think
it's
it
a
is.
minor part of what JFS does. So anyway, that's my 2 cents worth on it.
Yeah, I mean, we did speak with Randy Muth, and about this, and, you know, the fact that there was discussion taking away, ultimately, it's up to the state as to where they want the funds. And, I mean, at least as in representations to us, the Developmental Services Agency wants to keep it with us. Maybe they're representing something else different.
Yeah, that could be, because they in fact said that it was up to the commissioners.
Yeah, it's actually, it actually isn't. I mean, I checked on that. I mean, I wanted to make sure of it, but,
Yeah.
you know, they want the support of the commissioners, but, I mean, we really do have people that come here for this program and then go to other portions of our building in the same day. And to these folks,
Yeah.
you know, a gallon of gas means a lot, you know, so to be coming to one central location and not have to go across, you know, the county, even driving an extra 4 or 5 miles up to Chardon, you know, it makes a difference to these folks.
Hey, Bob did a nice presentation. I think he does a good job over there.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
But, you know, I mean, it seemed like the core argument was it would help you cover its overhead. And to me, you gotta look at, okay, we're serving the public. What works best for the public? And I don't know the answer. I'm just saying that should be more like, that's the question, rather than whose overheads are gonna help support
Yeah, no, and I
either
agree.
or not.
Rex does a phenomenal job at, you know, at this. We've been audited, and have passed all the audits. We're familiar with, there's a new program that they, a new portal that the state has given us, and new programming, which my staff has been trained on. I mean, there's no reason to take it away from us, simply because we're operating the program the way it should be operating. I mean, there's no reason to change it other than just to say, well, everyone other county does that. Well, who cares? It doesn't matter what other
In
counties do.
Geauga County,
Geauga,
it's
we
kind
do
of
things
red-
different. We've always done
That's a
things
red
different.
flag in Geauga County. If everyone else does it that way, maybe we gotta look at that.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
thank you.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Is the lead on that then?
The Department of Job and Family Services is requesting the board approve the submission to the program year 2019 Home Energy Assistance Program Administrative Operating Grant.
So moved.
Second?
Commissioner Clickwell?
Mhm.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
All right.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Take care.
Morning.
Hi, how are you?
Good, yourself?
Did you buy any tractors over the weekend?
No.
No. I was drooling over them.
I
Yeah.
go there to dream.
Yeah.
That's about it. So, the next two items is, two of our folks, summer help guys. Right now they're off in college, but they, come back on weekends. They're down in Akron, and when they come back on, what do you call it? Winter break or whatever, Thanksgiving break, they've expressed to be able to work. I think we can use them, definitely down there at the barn in that area doing things, so that's what we're doing here, is moving them from summer help to seasonal help. So, the other thing we're gonna be looking at down the road, Next Step is down there, so they have approximately 10 kids down there. They're anywhere from 20 to 22, 23 years old.
Mm-hmm.
We've been talking with them, a couple of them kids down there. Hey, if you want to paint, you know, in the evening or something, and we got some painting to do or something like that for $10 an hour, start maybe getting them on hand and doing a lot of that little stuff and getting it done. We've been going more and a lot more in-house and getting a lot more stuff done. And summer help was tremendous this year. These are two kids that went above and beyond. They got some work ethics and the whole works. So it was really good to be able to go do this. They went and did it and got it done.
But didn't you say you had a hard time getting this year, like, people even apply?
Yes.
Wasn't that a tough?
We only had four,
Yeah.
three or
And we
four
raised
apps.
we raised the
Yes.
price last year.
Yep.
Yeah.
$10.
Yeah.
So I've always had problems, you know, even with younger kids.
Yeah. It's not out
15, 16, 17. The problem with us is you can't put them, you can't
Yeah,
put them on
power
mowers, you
equipment, right?
can't
Yeah.
put them on weed eaters and everything, so due to the federal law.
Mhm.
It's a shame, actually.
Yeah, it is. You gotta be right with them all the time. These two kids are 20, they're in college, that we could send them out and get a job done after the first couple of times, especially the one who's very, very good at
Good.
that fixing that.
Okay, so we'll go to these then.
The maintenance department is requesting the board reclassify Matthew Hawkins from full-time summer help to part-time seasonal help at the rate of $10.25 per hour to be effective October 1st, 2018 through April 30th, 2019, for up to 13 weeks, not to exceed a combined total of 960 hours worked. The maintenance department is requesting the board reclassify Nicholas Luther from full-time summer help to part-time seasonal help at the rate of $10.25 per hour to be effective October 1st, 2018 through April 30th, 2019, for up to 13 weeks, not to exceed a combined total of 960 hours worked.
Second.
Commissioner Claypool? Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Yes.
Have a good
Thanks.
day.
All right. Take care.
Hi, Jerry.
Good morning. This item is just for water resources, hiring HCW to do environmental assessment of the property that we're looking at to purchase from the golf course for the Henning Drive project. So that's where our wastewater plant will be located.
So they're gonna subdivide, because I got it, I pulled up there, I'm looking, they're gonna subdivide that parcel that
Yeah,
size?
I'm working with Todd Peterson from the golf course. They were initially looking at trying to do some kind of development within the golf course. They realized that it's too hard to try to force that in this quickly, so they may be looking at something down the road, but for right now, they're agreeing to just allow us to purchase the property.
Okay.
with the wastewater plant.
So you got a stream running right just to the east of
Yes.
that, and that's
The
what
stream that's
they're
being,
using.
yeah, that's the stream that's being polluted by the failing septic
The
system.
one that goes through the golf course?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And then what body does that connect to?
That is the, been a while since I looked at it. I think it's
So
the
will that-
Chagrin. I think it's the Chagrin eventually.
So like, will that then go by where, does that go down towards like, Auburn is there and,
That goes down, it goes across the golf course and comes out across,
Fowler's Mills Road,
Fowler's Mills.
that's where that bridge is that they did, that's that same stream.
I don't know where it goes after that, that's as far as.
okay.
No, Legend Lake.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know where,
No,
I'm not looking at where it
just
eventually
curious,
gets
yeah.
to down further than that, I
It's
just know
probably
right down
Chagrin.
the process that.
It's headed to the southwest there, yeah.
I see. Okay. So if we could read that then.
The Department of Water Resources is requesting the board approve and execute the agreement between the Geauga County Board of Commissioners and HCW Environmental Consultants for environmental consulting services to Geauga County associated with 1.97 acres of land located south of the intersection of Green Road and Henning Drive in Chardon.
Second.
Commissioner Claypool?
Mm-hmm.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry.
The next one is to
Yep. Do we have a motion for Nick Orris as my alternate? Joe Patel's gonna be at his son's graduation for the military.
So moved. Second.
Commissioner Claypool?
Yep.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Which
Yes.
military is he graduating from basic?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I think in the Army.
Army. Wow. Hey, what's wrong with the Army? Go Army, go Army. We used to carry them.
I included the annual meeting packet, not just the board of directors, in case you
Yeah.
go to the annual meeting.
What's
so
that?
That's fine.
just in case.
Yeah, no, that's right. We were in our condos carrying them.
So,
Living kids.
I'd like to move into executive session with Laura and Jessica, Dave, Jerry, and 3 of us. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Commissioner Clickwell? Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Spiller?
Aye.
I can't read anything unless I know what it is I'm supposed to be reading,
very
so.
Hmm.
We'll figure it out.
Today the 6th.
Today's the 6th, that's tomorrow. This is the,
Okay, so we'll need to reach out to the administrative. I will sit and write this.
okay. It's not on yet. I didn't turn it on yet, I was reading previously.
We'll give the commissioners and stuff. Request the commissioners to authorize the county administrator. To approve.
Yes, execute it too. Yes, approve and execute it. I mean, he can't just approve it, he has to actually sign it, so.
I think the word approve includes.
Don't, okay.
Approve and execute.
All right,
You
we'll
do?
figure it out. Okay, is there an order on these? One before the other?
I do, one, two.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that it's there. Are you guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
So we're back from executive session at 10:20 with action.
The Department on Aging is requesting the board approve the county administrator to approve and execute the last chance agreement between Thomas McGrew and the Department on Aging to be effective September 6, 2018.
So moved.
Second?
Commissioner Clickwell?
Yes.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner Spiller?
Right?
The Department on Aging is requesting the board remove Thomas McGrew, transportation driver, from paid administrative leave effective September 7, 2018, and return to work.
So moved.
Second?
Commissioner Clickwell?
Yes.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner Spiller?
Right?
Alright.
Anything else, Dave, or you?
I need to know. I have Skip, Dave, Jerry, Kelly, me. I need to know if Tim and Ralph are going to the Department on Aging luncheon.
I'm not on the 19th, I can't.
What's the date on that?
It's Wednesday, the 19th. You accepted it yesterday in your
I did?
calendar. Skip did. I sent it to you guys. I was waiting to hear back.
Yes.
I have to give Aging.
It's
final
Yom
numbers.
Kippur all day, so.
Oh.
Hmm.
Who cares?
I'll get back to you on that.
Okay, I need to know by the end of today, because I got to
45
give
days from
the
the war.
comment to
45 years.
Aging.
The lunch, yeah.
Yes.
What's that?
Where's it at,
45
Notre
years-
Dame?
Years ago, yeah, 45 years ago was the Cold War. 73.
I'm very impressed that you're,
Um,
at your age, you would remember that.
So the session on, we have a peri-nuclear drill again, is that right? And we're moving session or
This is
something?
an
We did.
evaluated drill, right?
We
Yeah.
did. We already took the action to move it.
Okay,
We did that at the fair.
oh yeah. So it'll be Thursday instead.
Correct.
Yep.
And your planning commission meeting next Tuesday is in building 8. And so I'm gonna remind you of that, it's not in planning commission, it's actually in building 8.
Okay.
That's up there. And then we'll be back here at 9:30.
Why did they move it there?
I believe because of the topic on the agenda.
What's the topic on the agenda?
USGS
Oh,
is a huge section of their agenda for the well monitoring. So they anticipate a larger crowd.
so, have fun, I won't be there. Good luck.
And Ralph's not sure if he's gonna be here next week or not, so he has to let me know.
Are you off next week?
I may choose to be. I'll let Tim handle it.
Can't.
Okay.
Well, he can handle planning, but.
That's what I'm talking about, planning. I'll be here for sessions.
Okay, so you'll be here for session, I think that's what Ralph was looking for, so that's it, that's all I got.
Okay, so, motion to adjourn.
Second. So moved.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
There you go.
Free to go.